So when I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one. We will.
Egg prices are soaring. Last week, the average wholesale price for large white shell eggs reached $8 for a dozen. This is wholesale. Retail, it's higher than this. The previous all-time wholesale price was $5.46 back in December 2022. How much are eggs retail right now?
Right now, probably $11, $12, $13, $14.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
No, your eyes are not deceiving you. That was a segment on Fox News today. And yes, it's all the more damning when you play it alongside substanceless answers like this Donald Trump offered on the very same network when asked if he had any concrete policy proposals or timeline on his campaign promise to immediately halt inflation and bring down the price of everything.
It'll all happen very quickly.
You see, when he's not using his time to tweet about Taylor Swift, the sitting president is doing everything to dodge questions relating to one of his major campaign promises, the price of groceries. And he had some very specific, non-specific answers during a sit-down interview with Fox anchor Brett Bauer, who asked, if all goes to plan, when do you think families will be able to feel prices going down? And in response, Trump sounded a lot different than he did on the campaign. In fact, so different that I'll just put them side by side.
It'll all happen very quickly. This will rapidly drive prices down, lower interest rates, and put more money into the pockets of American consumers. It'll also bring your grocery bill way down. I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat. The stomach is speaking. It always does.
If all goes to plan, when do you think families will be able to feel prices going down? Groceries, energy, or are you kind of saying to them, hang on, inflation may get worse until it gets better?
No, I think we're going to become a rich. Look, we're not that rich right now. We owe $36 trillion. That's because we let all these nations take advantage of us. Same thing, like 200 billion with Canada. We owe 300. We have a deficit with Mexico of $350 billion. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen.
And the reason is, right, prices are going up to the point that even Fox News can't help but admit it on a segment that is bound to ruffle Trump's feathers.
Egg prices are soaring. Last week, the average wholesale price for large white shell eggs reached $8 for a dozen. This is wholesale. Retail, it's higher than this. The previous all-time wholesale price was $5.46 back in December 2022. How much are eggs retail right now?
Right now, probably $11, $12, $13, $14. Which ones? You want brown eggs, you want free-range eggs, et cetera, et cetera. But they're in the low teens right now.
I've never seen anything like that. Well, $14 for a dozen eggs.
They're killing the chickens.
Yeah.
And because of bird flu, right?
Because of bird flu. Now, let's ask the $64 trillion question. Is this another COVID crisis to greet President Trump?
Wow.
And we don't know that.
I'm getting anxiety already.
You just stuck your finger in it. Tell us.
January 25th.
Now, full disclosure here, as we don't like to lie to our viewers, while the soaring price of eggs have alarmed consumers and the agriculture industry, with everyone in Washington pointing fingers in various directions to try and place blame, as was the case under Biden, it's almost impossible to place blame on any one politician or party, especially with the highly pathogenic avian influenza or avian flu being responsible for the deaths of more than 40 million egg-laying birds last year. Meaning what? Short supply will result in price increase. However, that sure as hell didn't stop the Trump administration blaming Biden for everything from inflation to egg prices on the campaign.
Eggs, when Kamala Harris took office, were short of $1.50 a dozen. Now a dozen eggs will cost you around $4 thanks to Kamala Harris's inflationary policies. We can do so much better. We certainly will.
Have you noticed egg prices across the region continue to go up? Experts aren't seeing any relief in sight.
Egg prices are estimated to increase about 20% more this year. That's compared to 2.2% for food prices in general. It's according to the Ag Department.
Soaring egg prices are also impacting local businesses.
Egg prices at nearly $8 a dozen. Can you imagine?
You campaigned on lowering prices for consumers. We've seen all of these executive orders. Which one lowers prices?
We have done a lot, and there have been a number of executive orders that have caused already jobs to start coming back into our country, which is a core part of lowering prices. More capital investment, more job creation in our economy is one of the things that's going to drive down prices for all consumers, but also raise wages so that people can afford to buy the things that they need. If you look at our slate of executive orders, No, Margaret, prices are going to come down, but it's going to take a little bit of time.
Look, this is a hearing about free speech. My colleague from Texas said nobody blamed Biden for the cost of eggs, and he has every right to say it because it's free speech. But that is total bullshit, okay? All of my colleagues were blaming Biden from eggs. Former President Trump blamed him on October 26th before the election, blaming him for the price of eggs. So let's get some grip. Now, Mr. Chairman, I will yield to you.
And now that the buck stops with him, he's hiding. Or, as we've seen during this Fox interview, laying the foundation for some pain, as he likes to describe it.
No, I'm not concerned. We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that. But long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world. We have deficits with almost every country. Not every country, but almost. And we're going to change it. It's been unfair. That's why we owe $36 trillion. We have deficits with everybody. We help everybody. We've been helping everybody for years. And to be honest, I don't think they appreciate it. So we're going to change that. We're going to change it fast. We're going to make America great again. We have to focus on our country. We have tremendous potential if properly used, and we have to focus on our country. Tremendous deficits with China, tremendous deficits with the European Union, tremendous deficits with Mexico and Canada.
No, we're not going to pull punches now. Not after rally after rally, promises made, never kept.
So when I win, I will immediately bring prices down. Starting on day one, we will end Kamala's war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill.
Especially as he's taking deliberate action to make life more expensive for Americans away from groceries, such as by gutting the CFPB.
I'm not going to say good morning because it's not a good morning. President Trump has shut down the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, an agency that does only one thing: make sure we have a fair economy. How could anybody be against that? And the CFPB works. In its 10 plus years of existence, it's returned nearly $20 billion to consumers in real checks, canceled debt, monetary relief. And it's sought and received $5 billion in civil monetary penalties.
That helped curtail credit card costs, overdraft fees, and removed medical debt from credit reports.
For every person who wants to buy a home without getting scammed, this fight is your fight. For every family that doesn't want to get put out on the street in an illegal foreclosure, this is your fight. For every student who wants to borrow money to go to school without getting defrauded, this is your fight. For every member of our military who doesn't want to get trapped by some sleazy payday lender, say it with me, this is your fight. For every person who borrows money to buy a car and doesn't want to get trapped in the fine print, this is your fight. For every American.
Well, no, but wait a second. But let's just talk about one of the things that he's prescribing to cut. He wants to get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Here's what it's done for the folks at home. It's limited overdraft fees at banks. It's limited credit card late fees. It's made it easier for you to switch banks. It's removed medical debt from people's credit reports so that you can actually get rent after you've been sick. It's gone after banks who've taken advantage of people.
What's your argument?
My argument here is these are things that have protected the American people every day, and Elon wants to get rid of them because it doesn't work for millionaires and billionaires. No, they did not.
Yes,
they did not vote to get.
Yes, they did.
I'm sure.
Where were you on November 5th?
Donald Trump did not go to the American people and says, "I want to raise your overdraft fees." Did he? No, I don't think so.
They made it clear what Doge was when he was running for president. He did not go to the American people
and says, "I want to raise the amount you pay on late fees." Actually, the opposite of that. He said, "I'm going to cap late fees." That's not what's happening when you get rid of the Consumer Protection Bureau. You're right; it is too late. So hopefully, American people wake up to see what's happening.
You know what? Not to mention, they just released their budget, and what's on the chopping block? Of course, Medicaid. So yeah, the egg stops with you, mate. What are you going to do to bring the cost down?
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.